Have you noticed the same creators and brands showing up everywhere on your feed lately? Like you can't escape them no matter what platform you're on. You're seeing guys like Grant Cardone and Alex Hormozi literally flooding every corner of social media, getting hundreds of thousands of followers each month. And the crazy part is they're not even trying that hard. What you're witnessing is the biggest growth hack of the decade, and you don't have to be famous or a well-known person with millions of followers to do this. And most people have no idea how it actually works. They think these brands just went viral or spend all their time filming content, but there is a systematic strategy behind this explosion, and my team has been perfecting it for years. We call it the sub-account strategy, and it's the reason our clients are generating hundreds of millions of views per month and more organic leads than they can handle, while their competitors are stuck posting once a day, hoping something sticks. Today, I'm going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly how this works, why it's so effective, and the behind the scenes work that makes business owners and brands appear to blow up overnight. This is creating an illusion of overnight success where what you're seeing is business owners and brands appearing on every platform simultaneously with the same person showing up 10 to 20 times per day across your feeds, massive follower jumps, and seemingly impossible time frames with content that feels inescapable no matter where you scroll. The reality behind this overnight growth is that these business owners and brands aren't filming more content than before. They're not working 20 hours a day on social media, and they didn't suddenly become 10 times better at content creation. What changed is their distribution strategy. And why most people miss this is because they only see the front end results and not the back end system. They assume it's just good content or algorithm luck, and they don't realize there's an entire infrastructure working behind the scenes, because this strategy is designed to look organic and effortless. So let's explain the sub-account strategy and what it actually is. And it includes mass repurposing of existing content across dozens and hundreds of accounts, and also can be split testing hooks across accounts and platforms to multiply your content output. Each account appears to be run by different fans or affiliates many of the time. The content gets distributed at massive scale without owner involvement, and this creates omnipresence across all major platforms simultaneously. There are really 6 core components of making sure that you do this effectively. And the first is the source content. So this can be the creator's existing long form content, where if you're already getting tens of thousands of views per video or more from your podcasts, your YouTube videos, etc., then you can repurpose that long form content into high volume of short form content. And it's also going to likely get tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or millions of views if the long form content is proven. If your long form content is not already getting higher view counts, then taking that same content that's not already getting higher views is not going to magically get these higher view counts when it's repurposed to short form. So when we're working with businesses or brands that don't already have all that proven viral content, then the approach is to fully script out your short form content following dozens of proven viral video frameworks, and then you can split test hooks for every single video across multiple sub accounts. This is something that you cannot do if you just have one main account per platform, because if you split test 3 hooks on one video with one Instagram account, then the same audience for that one Instagram account is going to see those videos posted back to back to back. Versus if you have 3 Instagram accounts, one being your main account, 2 more being sub accounts that are still branded to you. So an example of that for a big brand like Netflix could be their main account is Netflix, and the sub accounts could be more Netflix and best of Netflix. That allows you to then split test the hooks of each of your videos to be much more data driven and 3x the output for every one video that you create. Another component of this that you need is editing, and you want a professional editing team who creates top quality short form edits for you, because quality does matter. You can't polish a turd. So if you're trying to do scale and the content is not good, it's not going to perform. Next, you also need the account network itself. And so this is where you can come in and create 15 to 40 plus additional sub accounts for your brand across platforms. We no longer live in a world to where you should only have one account per platform, and you definitely should not just be posting on one platform on social media. You should create multiple accounts and do this across Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat, LinkedIn, and X. All of these platforms push short form vertical video content, and it works really well. And the hardest part and the most expensive part of this is creating the content. So once that's already created, it is a no-brainer to post it across all platforms, which allows you to create omnipresence and generate a massive amount of more views, visibility, and therefore brand growth, leads, sales, and profit for your business. Next, you need a distribution system, which is the coordinated posting schedule across all the accounts to keep things organized and maintain top quality. A core part of this system for us is our scheduler tools, where our editors are uploading the content. We have quality control experts who review it with a double layer review process on every post before it goes out. That's where we're writing long form captions for our videos and then marking when the videos are posted out. Then we also tie in tracking tools to make sure that we're looking at the data on all of this, assessing performance every step of the way. And then the sixth piece of this is you need an engagement strategy where each account behaves like a real person would. To keep this compliant and keep the accounts performing top level, we natively post in each platform. We're not using third-party scheduling tools, and we don't do a post and jump approach. Our social media managers actually use the accounts like a real person should and like they're intended to be used. So we're using all the features, we're posting stories, we're responding to comments, driving community engagement. We set up DM automations, which is the most effective lead gen strategy that we see from organic socials. And then our team is also still going and engaging with other content, watching other content, leaving comments on the post. And all of this helps improve the health score of the account in the eyes of the algorithm, which helps all of this perform very effectively and maintains compliance every step of the way. Why this works so well is because algorithms favor accounts that post consistently and engage authentically. It creates multiple touch points across all platforms that increases brand recognition and trust. Organic content itself builds more trust versus paid content, and it also leverages existing content rather than always only needing to create new material. More accounts means more opportunities for the same content to go viral, and especially since we split test hooks across all of the accounts and content. Another huge piece of this is over the last few years, every platform has shifted from a following feed to a For You page, where now we are constantly served interest-based contents based on our interest in demographics from accounts, regardless if we follow them or not. And that's why when you look at short form vertical content and you go to the insights across every single platform, again, this is Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, LinkedIn, X, Twitter, and you go to the reach of all of the posts, majority of that reach, 50% plus, typically goes to non-followers that are again targeted based on interest and demographics. Because of all these reasons, organic content has never been more like paid ads than it is today, and the platforms use the same trillions of data points for advertising to also decide what organic content we are being served. So the best part of all of this is that the reach is free because it's organic, and organic reach also builds more trust versus when you're doing paid ads, you have to pay for that reach on top of paying for the team to manage the ads and all the cost that goes into creating the content, building the creative, the copywriting, etc. The game has become whoever posts and distributes the most top quality content is going to win on not only socials, but just in your industry in general. But every account has a visibility ceiling, which limits the amount of content that you can post per account while still seeing optimal results. So the way that you post the most content with top quality while also not being restricted by the visibility ceilings is through the sub account strategy that we're talking about. You're going to see better results posting 10 times per day per platform across 5 accounts versus posting 10 times per day on 1 account per platform. There's also psychology behind the mass exposure that makes this even more effective. The first piece of this being the mere exposure effect. You see, people develop preferences for things that they're familiar with. And so repeated exposure increases likability and trust, and it works even when people don't consciously notice the repetition. This explains why you start following personal brands that you see everywhere after multiple touch points. The second piece of this is social proof. Seeing someone on multiple platforms signals authority and popularity, and the brain assumes if they're everywhere, they must be important. This creates FOMO, fear of missing out on popular content, and then also triggers the bandwagon effect where people want to follow what other people are following as well. And this just overall creates an attention arbitrage because most businesses compete for attention on single platforms, and the sub-account strategy captures attention across all platforms. It's like buying billboard space on every highway instead of just on one, and this creates the massive competitive advantage in the attention economy today. With that said, this does not work for everyone if you don't have key pieces in place. So let's break down why this only works for certain creators and brands. And so you need content that already gets decent views and engagement, ideally tens of thousands of views or more per post on average. You must have proven hooks and valuable information, and you can't polish a turd because bad content stays bad at scale. If proof of concept isn't there, don't let this discourage you though if you don't already have a big database of proven content and a big brand. Because if proof of concept isn't there, then you can come in and engineer viral content by scripting it out and split testing hooks on every single video you create. This allows you to collect more data at a faster rate than anyone else and creates a 15x leverage on every video that you produce. How that math works is if you have one video and then you have 3 hooks per video, that now is 1 times 3 equals 3. And then you post those 3 videos across 5 different platforms minimum. We like to do this on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and LinkedIn. Then you have those 3 videos times 5 is 15 posts per day. That's how, again, you turn one video into 15 posts. And you do that at scale, you are going to outcompete everyone else, and you are going to collect a lot more data than everyone else. These videos can have calls to action embedded inside of them, so it drives massive lead flow. And with the split tested hooks, you're just going to learn what works best faster than others. And we're not just throwing things at the wall and hoping that it sticks. We're following proven frameworks that have already gone viral again and again and again, generating 5 billion plus views across platforms with our clients in the last 2 years. Circling back again, if we're taking the full content repurposing approach, then this also ideally requires 100 plus hours of proven content that you can consistently clip up. And ideally, you also have variety to avoid repetitive posting. The best candidates have years of podcasts and videos and talks that they've done. But again, if you don't have hundreds of hours of successful content, but you do have a successful business, we can fully script out your videos and split test hooks while you're filming less than 2 hours per month for us to post 420 plus times per month. So who's truly a perfect fit for this? And then what business size is the perfect fit for this approach? If you're repurposing proven viral content, then you should be a 5 million plus business and annual revenue. And many clients who see great success are doing 8 figures and up. If you don't have proven viral content, then you just need a great business doing at least 3 million plus per year, because it proves that you know how to convert leads into sales at a scalable rate. And you're not going to necessarily do the same level of content output as a separate brand that already has hundreds of hours of proven content and footage. So now let's talk about the team infrastructure behind all this magic. The first of the team requirements is clip coordinators. And what they do is find and timestamp all the best moments to make it much more efficient for the editors to go in and pull clips from the content. We also have systems set up because we have multiple editors behind our videos, and we don't want different editors editing the same videos. So in the content databases that we create and that our clip coordinators organize, each editor will mark when they've edited that piece of content, so we're not being repetitive and doing the same videos over and over and over. So next, you obviously need video editors to create the engaging short form content, and you want top quality. Don't cheap out and go with editors who don't have experience. We have gotten extremely good at recruiting, and we only bring in the best editors who already have plenty of experience, with most of them already generating millions of views and content. The next huge piece of this is the social media managers to manage dozens of the social accounts. They're posting natively the content in each platform rather than using third-party scheduling tools. A lot of them have a copywriting background where they're helping to write out the captions and the titles for the videos. They're helping to quality control and review the content. They lend a hand in the overall strategy and approach of the accounts. They're creating engagement, responding to comments, engaging with other accounts, watching other content, and using the platforms to the fullest like a real person should. Next, we have our copywriters who write the full video scripts, hooks, and also the long form captions and titles for the videos. And honestly, the scripts is one of the most important and essential and valuable pieces of this entire equation. If you don't have great video scripts, then you're not going to have great content. And so the copywriter role is one of the highest leverage that you need to get right. We have data analysts that track performance across all the accounts and update our entire client trackers that ties everything together. And then last but not least, you have your team leader, who is the captain of the ship, leading the full team, making sure that output is as high as it can be. Quality control is also a massive massive piece of this where we have multiple approval layers before publishing every single post. We identify and optimize the top performing content, and we're maintaining authentic engagement patterns across all the accounts, making sure that the accounts don't look low quality. Quality has to remain top level for this to work and for you to maintain the brand that you want to maintain. If you do this at low quality, that can risk your brand reputation, and all of these things that we're talking about is not going to work, which is going to create a huge waste of investment and time put into this. Some real examples of this that you may have seen is Grant Cardone, where he already had a great brand and took the repurposing route with this. And now if you look across all platforms, you'll find dozens more of accounts that are posting thousands of times per month on his behalf. And he's currently generating anywhere between 50 to 130 million views consistently month after month. Many of the accounts even look like they're run by fans, but they all look professional and top quality. And this has created massive exponential growth across all platforms for his brand. Another example of this that you may have seen is Fashion Nova. So you don't have to only be a personal brand to make this work. You can also be a consumer or faceless brand. Fashion Nova has many different sub accounts that are based on specific categories of their clothing. They have a large network of thousands of influencers that constantly create content, and they're repurposing all that top performing content and using different content styles, editing hooks, etc. across these sub accounts to drive massive amounts of more views and product sales for their business, staying omnipresent everywhere you look. Some common patterns of this that you can spot are, first, the naming variations, and with the sub accounts, you still want to keep them on brand for you. So have your brand name, and then easy variations that you can include is things like your brand clips, your brand reels, best of your brand talks, your brand advice, so on and so forth. And really, my recommendation is for you to get creative on this and make the additional words that you add in the branded names still related to you and your brand. You don't have to only use the generic ones like clips and reels and more of and best of. Another common pattern on this is you're going to see multiple posts per day across different accounts. And many times you're going to see the same clips that have different editing variation on them. This is a huge tip for you of when you find a winning post, that now becomes an asset for you and your brand. And we call it remixing winners, because almost always when you remix a winning post and you add just different editing on top and you post it again, even on the same account, if not on different sub accounts, it continues to perform over and over and over. And we've had posts that went viral up front and we continued to remix it and took it from getting, let's say, 2 million views on the initial post to over time getting 30 million plus views because we continued to remix that winner. And that's more than a 10x on the output of that one post if we weren't doing this strategy. Why we've been doing this for years is because we spotted early recognition of the opportunity and really saw the potential of this before it became mainstream. We've been doing this since 2022 when my partner Spencer Murphy first launched the sub account strategy with Iman Gadzhi, and in the first 4 months they generated 449 million views from his existing content. We've developed the systems for this when competition was non-existent and have refined processes through trial and error with early clients, now building infrastructure that others are trying to copy. The results speak for themselves, where we've generated over 5 billion views using this strategy, helped clients go from thousands to millions of followers, generated 1 million plus leads across 34 industries, and consistently deliver results that seem impossible to outsiders and skeptics. Most agencies only focus on creating new content with no performance-based incentive, and we focus on engineering top quality content while maximizing distribution and posting hundreds to thousands of times per month with higher ROI because we're amplifying the proven winners, creating faster results because we're not starting from scratch, and we can control quality by doing everything in-house rather than outsourcing it to fans or newbies or people with no experience. And we're doing all this largely performance-based with satisfaction and results guaranteed. Now, the dark side of this that nobody wants to talk about is this is not for everyone, and this will not work for everyone. First is you have to have a conversion focus for this to make sense. You need the ability to convert attention leads into sales for high profitability. We'll come in and we can generate consistent lead flow and attention for our clients, but if you don't have the ability to convert those leads into sales, then you're not going to be as successful as those who do. The number one risk of failure with this above all else is if you don't have proven conversion systems. This strategy can also be resource intensive, where it requires a significant team and infrastructure. Quality control becomes exponentially more complicated without the right systems, which we've been able to crack the code on, and this requires constant adaptation because it's not a set it and forget it strategy. Coordinating across dozens of accounts can be challenging, and it can also be very expensive expensive trying to figure out how to do this properly, which is why most fail. Longer term, this strategy will become less effective as more people use it, which is why first mover advantage is so crucial. And if you get started with this today, you largely have first mover advantage. This is a strategy that is not going to be short-lived. This is going to continue to perform for years to come, and more people will continue to do this for years to come. But if you have the first mover advantage over them, you are going to be significantly further ahead in the next 3 to 5 years versus all the others who get into this late. So how do you know if this strategy is right for you? Well, the qualification checklist is if you're going to just repurpose your existing content. Do you have 100 plus hours of existing long form content? And is your current content consistently getting great results with tens of thousands of views per video or more? Do you have proven hooks and valuable information? And can you invest in a good team? So how to know if this strategy is right for you? Well, the qualification checklist is if you're going to take the repurposing route of your existing content, do you have 100 plus hours of long form content that's already proven to get effective results, ideally tens of thousands of views per video or more? If that's not you, you can still make this work through scripting out the content and split testing hooks across many different sub accounts, but you still need a great business. You need the ability to convert leads into sales. And you also want to ask yourself, can you invest in a good team? Are you ready to scale beyond a single platform? If you want to test the waters with this and do it internally, my recommendation is to create 1 to 2 additional sub accounts per platform manually. And if you have long form content, start turning that long form content into clips that can be repurposed and posted out. Or when you're filming short form content, make sure to film multiple hooks per video and then split test those across the sub accounts. When you do this properly, this truly is the biggest growth opportunity of the decade, where you can far outpace the competition, collect more data than ever before, get more views to targeted people than ever before, and therefore grow your business exponential rates. The brands you think blew up overnight have been building distribution networks for months or even years. And what looks like luck or talent is actually strategy and infrastructure. So if you run a business doing over 3 million per year and you want our team to handle the entire sub account strategy for you, including building out the account networks, managing the distribution, scripting out all of your content and videos, split testing the hooks, incorporating CTAs, driving more reach and lead flow than you've experienced before from your organic socials, then make sure to check out the description on this video below. And we have a training video that breaks down this entire process step by step and what it could look like on working with us and our team. If it's deemed a good potential fit, you can apply to work with us and we'd love to discuss further. We are very selective about who we take on and work with as part of this strategy, and we can only work with a few new clients per month at a time. So if you see that application form available, now is the time to apply and speak with our team. And truly today also still gives you a massive first mover advantage over this strategy. We've been perfecting this strategy for years and operate largely performance based at many times 1/25th the cost of ads, with results guaranteed, where we put in a lot of skin in the game with you. If you're getting value from this, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're dropping more game on the channel like this every single week. Go check out the other videos as well. And if you want to learn more of a step-by-step breakdown of how we've generated our clients over 1 million organic leads in the last 2 years, check out this video that you see right here. Thanks for watching this, and I'll see you in the next video.